Hey guys, Kim Lenga from Emerge Fitness, and today I'm going to make for you a chicken crust pizza. So I'm sure you have heard of a pizza with toppings such as chicken and maybe feta cheese or something like that, but this is going to be a little bit different. This is actually going to be, the crust is going to be a chicken crust. So it's not the toppings that are just chicken, it's actually going to be the crust. And why am I doing this? Well, first of all, my son is coming home, and it is a recipe that he requested. And this is actually something that he brought to my attention and gave me a recipe. And of course, I tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit healthier. But it is a way to get protein in. And by all means, don't get me wrong. It's not that all carbs are bad and that a flour crust is bad to have on occasion. But for him, he really wanted the extra protein that he's gonna get from the chicken crust pizza. And it is so incredibly easy. I'm gonna show you exactly how to whip it up, and then I will show you what the final results look like. So what you're gonna need is about 3 chicken breasts, and you can grind them up yourself, or what I do is a little hack. I actually get ground chicken already done for me, so I don't have to go through that process of grinding up the chicken. You're gonna add to it eggs, a little bit of coconut flour, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then some spices to make it really flavorful. And then when it's all done, so after you bake the crust, I'm gonna put my pizza toppings on it. So I have some marinara sauce or pizza sauce that I'm gonna put on top. I'm gonna put a little bit more cheese on it, right? Because everybody likes a little bit of cheese. And then whatever your favorite toppings are. For me, it's gonna be some peppers and onions, and then possibly chicken sausage. And again, another element and way to get more protein in. So I'm excited to mix this up for you, and I'm gonna show you just how quick and easy it is. So in here, I actually have the equivalent of 3 large chicken breasts. So I have about 2 pounds in here, and it's already ground up, so I don't have to spend a lot of time doing that, but it's gonna get a little loud, and I'm gonna pulse it a little bit just to make sure it's all ground together. And to that, I'm gonna add 2 eggs. So I have eggs going in right here. And I'm gonna pulse it again to make sure that the eggs are incorporated. So are we getting this? We have ground chicken, or you can do ground turkey. If you're getting it already ground up, make sure you get 99% fat-free, right? So I added 2 eggs, so that's more protein going in. So 1 egg is the equivalent of about 6 grams of protein, so we have about 12 more grams going in, okay? And to that, I'm gonna add coconut flour, and this is just gonna help bind it together. And I have 3/4 cups of grated Parmesan cheese. And to that, I'm gonna add my spices. So I love it to be flavorful, so I'm going to add garlic powder in here, a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm also going to add onion powder. And again, I'm looking at about a teaspoon of onion powder going in. I'm going to add some oregano, all right, and a teaspoon of oregano, and I have some hot pepper flakes, so that's going to give it a little kicked up punch. I'm not going to add a whole teaspoon, so I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon, because my husband's also going to eat it too, and he doesn't like things too spicy. And to that, I'm going to add some salt. So I have about a teaspoon of salt going into it. And I'm going to put the lid back on and pulse it up. So you want to make sure everything is incorporated into this, and that the coconut flour gets embedded into the meat so that it won't be too gooey, and it will bind together to make a nice crust. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. Now, to all of this, I'm going to, actually not to all of this, but what I'm gonna do with this now is I'm gonna put it in onto a baking sheet. So I already prepared a baking sheet for us, and we're gonna push it down just like a pizza crust, like we would a dough, into onto a baking sheet. And I prepared it already. I have a couple of them here. I actually put parchment paper down onto a smaller baking sheet. And why did I do the parchment paper? Because I've learned from years past that if I don't do that, sometimes it sticks, and then trying to get the pizza crust, the chicken crust, off of the pan that it's sticking to ends up being a big mess. So I'm gonna take about half of this and start pushing it down with my hands onto the baking dish and forming a nice dough-like crust like you would with a pizza. So I'm gonna move this out of the way, move some of this out of the way. So you see that there? And I may have to add more to it. And again, I actually even sprayed this parchment paper with a little bit of avocado oil because I don't want to chance it all getting gunked up and stuck to the bottom of my pan, and then for us not to be able to eat it like a true traditional pizza. All right, so here we have it, guys. I have 2 chicken crusts that are ready to go into the oven. So I'm gonna bake them at 350 degrees for about 10-15 minutes. We just wanna make sure that the meat is completely cooked. Then I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna load them up with all the pizza toppings that I want on it, and I will show you the finished product. All right, guys, so here they are. These are 2 fully cooked chicken crust pizzas. And what happens with the chicken is it does shrink around the edges. So while I had it pushed up against the edges, it shrunk down a little bit, and that's to be expected. So now I'm gonna start building my pizza. And again, you can put whatever toppings you want on it. I'm gonna use a cheat, so this is store-bought pizza sauce. But the ingredients in here, so this is where it's really key that you guys don't just look at the calories, look at the ingredients. It says that it has tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil. And that is it. So it doesn't have any sugars in here, any sunflower oils, anything that would actually promote inflammation in the body. So I have probably about 3 tablespoons. Then I added to this, and I'm just gonna take it all the way around to the edges as close as I can, and I might have to add a little bit more, and that's all okay. And again, you may not like red pizza sauce, right? And that's fine too. So you're gonna put on it whatever you want on it. And this one definitely needs more, so I'm gonna add more on this side. And again, I'm just spreading it around, trying to go as close to the edge as I can. And then I'm gonna start building this thing. Some of you might like mushrooms, you might like spinach, you might like feta cheese. Oh, feta cheese, that might be a good one. Feta cheese is usually a favorite on our pizza. You might even want olives. So the next thing that I have some green onion and or green pepper and onion, and I sauteed them because I just wanted it a little bit cooked and sweated before I started loading this up. So I'm just gonna load up my 2 pizzas. And again, if you don't want to take the time to even put the veggies on and saute them, that's up to you too, right? This is all going to be your pizza based on your likes and your time. Some of you might just want to get some chicken pepperoni and put on there. So the next, I have more protein, and this is chicken again, but it is chicken sausage. So I took it out of the casing and I cooked it, and now I'm just gonna put it on top of this pizza. And for anybody that is really trying to watch your caloric intake and your fat intake, you know, when it comes to the cheese part of it, you know, because cheese is kind of like the glue that's going to hold everything together on top. You can put the cheese on the bottom and go a little bit less, and not have as much cheese or fat on the top. All right, so I have them loaded up. How's that looking? And now instead of shredded mozzarella cheese, I actually got a log of mozzarella cheese, and it's not going to cover the entirety of the pizza, but it just adds a nice melty gooiness to this pizza. And we'll just fill in where we can. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so that's going to spread out and glue everything together. I'm going to put it back into the oven because remember, everything is fully cooked. So I'm going to put it back into the oven and cook it for about 5 minutes, or until that mozzarella cheese is melted and bubbly, and then we're going to eat. All right, guys, so that was it. How simple was that? I can't wait to dig into that pizza. And I'm going to pair it with a nice salad. So this is a delicious dinner. If you're looking for something that is high in protein but low in carbs, this is it. And remember, carbs aren't the enemy. You do need carbs. They're your energy. However, you do need to eat them in moderation, right? And you want to make sure you get the right kinds. So give this recipe a try. I know it'll be a hit.